This question asks us to find a sequence of transformations that maps this to this. So this is the equation of your image. The translated equation is always the image equation. So what we need to do is we need to actually compare the two equations together. So this is your old equation, and the equation of your image is, and we have dashes for images. So we just put in dashes showing that that particular x and y value have been manipulated or influenced. So these are our two equations. This is the old one and this is the new image. Okay, so what we need to do, this particular equation, we're just going to we're going to move all the values that belong to y onto the side of y. So y dash plus 1 divided by 3 becomes equal to cos. And all the stuff, all the content inside there, it belongs to x. So you can see we're just splitting apart the equation. So now what we can do is we can equate y and x values together. So we take this y value here and we equate it to the image. So y is equal to y dash plus 1 over 3, and we do the same thing with the x value. So x equals to 2 times by x dash minus pi, and yeah, we need to now find y dash, and we need to also find x dash. So we have to multiply this equation by 3 in order to rewrite it. So 3y equals to y dash plus 1. Y dash is equal to 3y minus 1. So that's the change. That's the transformation equation that will help us. Okay, with this one, we have to first divide it by 2 to get rid of that 2 there. So we've got x over 2 equals to x dash minus pi, and then x dash becomes x on 2 plus pi. All right. So now, after we've done all of that work, we can now write the sequence of transformations. So the sequence of transformations remember that you can just look at this equation directly. So here we've actually got two factors, dilation factors. There's a dilation factor of y, and there's also a dilation factor that's influencing your x values. The x values are being times by half, whereas your y values are being times by 3. So the transformations, dilation by a factor of 3, dilation by a factor of 3, and that factor of 3 is influencing your y values. So imagine you have 1, 1, and now you have 1, 3, because this y value, this original y value has been multiplied by a factor of 3. So it moves this way. Okay, so dilation by a factor of 3 parallel to y-axis. And also you have a dilation by a factor of half. And so we will just write end by factor of half parallel to x-axis, because it's moving along the x-axis in this case. Okay, so the language is very important. Also the direction of the dilations is important. We don't have any reflections because both of these are positive. There is no negative involved in front of your x value or y value. So we'll go straight to the translation. So the translation by 1 unit down in the negative y direction, and also translation and translation by pi to the positive in, it would be more appropriate to say in the positive x direction by pi units in the positive x direction. So that's how we list our transformations in this particular case.